Just FYI, we'll be going to an executive session to discuss pending, probable, or imminent litigation pursuant to Section 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act immediately following the Committee of the Whole meeting. That being said, I call the Village of the Committee of the Whole meeting to order and ask the clerk to again please call the roll.
Trustee Daney?
Here.
Gansey?
Here.
Gunstein?
Here.
Hopkins?
Here.
REINKE?
Present.
Sawansky?
Here.
President Wallace.
Here. First item on our committee meeting this evening is under Building and Zoning, Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, President Wallace. We have one item, and that's the Dunkin Donuts. With that, I will turn it over to Ms. Roberta Grill for her last introduction in the committee.
Hey. So tonight, we have a preliminary final subdivision for two proposed commercial lots at the northwest corner of Schick and 59. Lot 1 would consist of a proposed Dunkin Donuts, and at this time, there is no future user for the proposed Lot 2. From the site plan, you can see that there would be one shared curb cut between the two lots, located directly across from an existing curb cut for the 7-Eleven. It is a one-way counterclockwise traffic pattern around the building. They have provided us with 12 stacking spaces, which does exceed our zoning ordinance requirement of 6, and they have provided us with the required 16 parking spaces on the site. One note to make is that no direct access would be provided to Route 59, and that they are dedicating 25 feet for a proposed decel or right turn lane heading southbound and then westbound onto Schick Road. That's it.
Any questions from the committee?
I'm all over the Dunkin Donuts, so.
I think this use is great down there because it'll alleviate a lot of the traffic congestion at the Dunkin Donuts at Route 59 in Norwood, and I think that's a huge help.
It's not the same owner, is it? It is the same owner, yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
So they're anticipating having them both open, or is there future plans? Okay.
Is there any interest in the balance of that lot?
Are they just, are they purchasing it or leasing it? The front part or all of it?
If this lot if the rest of it got developed, would there be access on the road in the back then, you think? Or do you anticipate?
That's possible. When, over the years, we've seen site plans, and they have proposed access to that private drive in the back. It's met with mixed emotions with the staff, but I think that's going to depend on the layout of what the use is and how the site lays out.
Okay. Any other questions?
Sure.
We will forward this on to the Planning and Zoning Commission for further review and to conduct a public hearing. That is all we have under Planning and Zoning tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Hopkins. Next item we have on committee of the meeting is Public Works, Chairman REINKE.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have one item tonight, the possible 2-year extension of our waste hauling services contract with Groot Industries. The proposal would keep prices stable in the first year, so it would be the same price the first year, and then the extension would increase 3% in the second year. Yard waste stickers would decrease from $3.50 currently to $2 each for both years of the extension. All other services would remain as they currently are. And if you look at that handy-dandy chart in the memo, you'll see that when you look at the most expensive service, that 3% really is like 64, 65 cents. So it seems like a relatively modest increase. And my big question is, so this is a 2-year extension. What, if anything, happens in year 3?
At that point, we could put in the extension, the option to do an additional extension. In the current 5-year agreement, it was only listed as a 2-year, though.
Okay.
We could.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the committee?
I would just make a comment. I know that we had recently sent out a Facebook post just explaining, and we went to go publicly announce size and width and depth of you can't put a whole tree out there? Is that what that whole Facebook post was about? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like 13 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet high. That's a pretty good sized pile. That's what they'll allow. Isn't that something?
So the bundled brush is separate than the additional brush service that we have.
Spring and fall. pickup.
Yeah, so this would still include unlimited bundling brush, but
Yeah.
it's a 2 by 2 by 4.
So, but people can continually bundle all year round as long as they put the twine around it.
Yeah, that's
2
still,
by 2 by 4.
and we still
But
the additional.
are we still in the cycle where they can put it out at the curb, or is it passed?
I think next week is zone 2. Yep,
Next week is zone 2.
so we're in zone 1 right now.
So for that, it's a different company that's coming around and picking this stuff up.
Right.
And it's 13 feet long by 5 feet high by 5 feet wide. Is that right? Okay, just so we're clear on that. All right, that's all I had.
Anything else?
One of the concerns I have is I've had to call Groot several times. Their customer service, in my opinion, needs to improve. I'm not going to try to negotiate this contract from up here, but the wait times are ridiculous, and I know a lot of residents complain about it. And the second thing is there any way to automate, if someone wants to recycle a refrigerator, or if they have a TV they want to put out, they physically have to call somebody at Groot. And that's ridiculous. In this day and age, why would I want to wait 15, 20 minutes on a phone and have them not call me back? It's
That was a concern, and to be quite honest, if this was 2 years ago, I don't think we'd be sitting here. I think we're looking at trends, and I think that the trend that Groot has made has been a very positive one. When residents do call and they put out a white good, which is a couch or a refrigerator, that's, unlike some of the other communities, that's a zero cost. That's embedded into this cost that we have. We do advise residents at times that have large outputs like a TV and a couch to call Groot as a courtesy, because what will happen is if there is a large white good and they go along with the truck, sometimes they'll get missed because they need to have another truck come by and put the couch in. So in essence, we're trying to be proactive and let them know that there's a white good out there instead of calling on the back end. But residents do not need to call.
for a TV.
They do not. For a TV, that's electronics.
E-recycling, they do have to call, there's an email that you can send them to, has to be at least a day in advance. But yeah, for like a fridge or anything like that, you can just put it out there.
Could you verify that email?
And Groot is, a representative from Groot is here today, if you do have any questions from him.
Yeah, can he speak to this?
Good evening, Josh Molnar with Groot. The question was specific to white goods?
TVs, recycling, if you put something out, do you physically have to call a phone number, or can they email? Can they go to your website?
Yeah, bulk items, which are your couches or large items, they don't have to call to tell us that it's out there. E-waste, we ask that they call and give us a heads up just so we know where they are, so we're not traveling with that extra truck down every road where it doesn't need to be. We're just really trying to reduce truck traffic and make it more efficient and make it as cost-effective as possible.
Is there any way to automate that and have it set up where you can email somebody and not wait on the phone for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes?
So, and that's something we're looking at addressing. We've onboarded more than a few towns this summer, so we've seen some spikes in calls. So that's something we're looking to remedy. But in terms of an automated process, there's a couple ways we're looking to remedy that. We have an online chat function for those that don't want to use phones, but we're also developing an app that allows you to schedule those types of one-off services through the app itself. So we're looking at a multifaceted approach to that.
Okay. Can you get with our staff and kind of update them at where you're at with this and how long you anticipate it coming online?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think that's one of the benefits over the last couple of years, Scott and Sam, and just really getting together and trying to, I guess, streamline that communication, which is half the battle. So a lot of thanks out to Scott and Sam for their efforts that they've sat down. We sat down a couple of years, 2.5 years ago, I think, to try to kind of recalibrate this, and I'm glad with the way it's going. So doesn't mean we can't continue to improve.
All right. Thank you so much for being here.
I personally think our garbage service is great. I put my garbage out and it's gone in the morning. It works for me. I have friends that live in Elgin, and it's a real pain for them to dispose of larger items, and I put larger items out weekly, and it's gone. So personally, I think it's working. So if there's a way to automate it a little bit better, then great. So.
Unless there's anything else, we'll move this along to the village board for a final vote.
We're done talking trash?
Oh, that was good.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you
That's
for being
all
here.
we have on Public Works tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Ranky. With that, I'll entertain a motion to,
I'll make that motion, but before we close, I just want to say that Chief has never looked better than he has this evening. He has the flowers and balloons all in front of him. I mean, he absolutely looks fantastic. I've never seen you look better. I make a motion, we
entertain a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn to executive session.
Second.
To discuss pending, probable, or imminent litigation pursuant to Section 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act. Moved by trustee Danny, seconded by trustee Ranky. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Daney?
Yes.
Danzy?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Ranky? Swansky?
We're adjourned to executive session.
Goodbye.
5 minutes.